Good morning, everyone. My name is Elian Stefa, and I come from Albania, and I'm really happy to be joining you here at this very exciting platform. I'm here to present a project of demilitarization and what I consider to be a healthy metabolization of a traumatic past, ARTiLERIA. So it's very much related to the previous project. So, I'm talking about Sazan. Sazan is the largest and often considered the only island in Albania. It is located 70 kilometers off the coast of the southern city of Vlora. The relationship between Sazan and the mainland has always been one shrouded in mystery, so near yet unattainable. The island is strategically located between the Strait of Otranto and the city of Vlora, creating a border between the Adriatic and the Ionian Sea, and providing the closest point to southern Italy from the Balkans. Since antiquity, the island has changed various hands. Romans, the Ottomans, Britain, Greece, and Italy all came through, but what they had in common was their use of Sazan as a military base. Here we can see the military symbolic significance of Sazan with the caption of the postcard saying the Italian flag dominates the Adriatic, and this was when the plant was planted on Sazan. So they had basically both sides of the Adriatic and controlled all of it. The greatest so-called development for the island came during the communist regime in Albania. Sazan was liberated by the anti-fascist forces in 1944, and following the bunkerization of Albania by the dictator Enver Hoxha, Sazan became the frontier bunker of Albania, towards the west, a bunker island. So Albania was ready, but nobody ever came. And with the fall of the communist regime in 1991, the island became almost completely uninhabited, leaving dozens of buildings, kilometers of underground tunnels, and thousands of concrete bunkers haunting the hills and beaches of the island. Throughout history, it has been nearly impossible for regular citizens to approach Sazan due to its strategic military role. But at its peak, the island was home to a population of over 3,000 servicemen and their families, with several neighborhoods, a primary school, and a hospital complex, alongside over 2,500 pillbox bunkers. The island now provides a mummified testament to the paranoia and isolation of the regime, completely harmless structures being swallowed by nature, and a half a dozen lonely soldiers counting the stars. After years of being ignored into irrelevance, in 2017, an agreement between the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Tourism has made the island accessible for short tours during the summer season, opening up the island for touristic purposes. So this is Sazan, a no man's land stuck between the east and the west, stuck somewhere between the past and the future, but definitely not in the present. So how can decolonizing military infrastructure become a bridge of connection and dialogue between people scarred by conflicts? So, ARTiLERIA is a proposal for the reawakening of Sazan as a unique free zone for design, architecture, and creativity, an encapsulated parallel reality. This is not strictly an architectural project, but rather a project of cultural planning and process design with a dash of visionary optimism. From a symbol of isolation and hostility, we want to invert the symbolism of Sazan into a sanctuary for connecting the East and the West and the past to the future. So what are the goals of the project? Well, the sustainable revitalization of Sazan Island as a creative destination, while preserving the military ruins of the heritage of the island. A 3-year transformative project for the occupation of the island in the service of the arts and cultural tourism, and creating a platform for capacity building in the creative fields through workshops, seminars, interactive talks between young artists and professionals, creating an autonomous temporary settlement of young artists and professionals that will transform the existing facilities through architectural and artistic interventions, and providing a fertile ground of intercultural exchange and reflection within the Balkans, Europe, and beyond. So chapter 1. No man's land. This island is basically a real no man's land between the East and the West, as I said before. It doesn't really belong to any private investor or anything like that. It's just a land between two ministries right now. So how do we do this? As with any good invasion, a reconnaissance mission is vital. So this is the first chapter of the story, documenting and interacting with the island without raising any alarms. This is a tricky territory to claim, so a good team of visual artists will be employed to investigate, photograph, paint, shoot, and sculpt Sazan and its various ghosts. Basically a series of art residencies in Vlora, the city right next to it, with Sazan as a subject matter of daily trips on the island for the next 2 weeks. This is planned for this year. This step is crucial to understanding the dynamics of the context with which we're working. The resulting exhibition travels in order to raise awareness and gain support of the governmental institutions. It's also a tool for fundraising. So chapter 2, tabula rasa. So tabula rasa not in a physical sense, but in a conceptual sense. We do not want to flatten the island or destroy what's there, but rather we want to destroy the meaning of this island has held for so long and create a new space for a new meaning to emerge. This is done through site-specific installations on the island which challenge its identity, using the tunnels as new exhibition spaces, gatherings, and day-long workshops being held on the island, so reintroducing the island as a space to be inhabited. A new map has to be created which communicates a new layer to be explored with all the new interventions on the island. And this is the second chapter. Then the third chapter, it's the real invasion at this point. So we've gotten this far, it's time to set up the headquarters on the island. This means the transformation and reuse of existing structures whilst preserving their historical value. The establishment of an architectural and design summer school, which will be the foundations of the transformation happening on the island with long-term residencies. And the construction of permanent pavilions and new infrastructures which will tackle the inadequacies of the island and support the initial goals. So in closure, I want to play you something from the past, which has inspired me to try and change the future of this island. This is a traditional isopolyphonic song from the Vlora region, a song dedicated to Sazan. Thank you.